wanna go day drinking, wave, yeah. You know just what I'm thinking. Let's go.
Hi, this is Beau. I'm half of VanderSports. The sports half is somewhere else right now. And so the Vander half is going to take over until he can join in. And that's fine because there's so much going on in the Bravo universe right now that I kind of just want to jump into it and we can have our own little secret meeting before he comes down here and starts talking about, I don't know, baseball and March Madness and Penguins and whatever else. Um, I think the number one thing is that after 5 seasons, Garcelle Beauvais is leaving the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She put out this beautiful statement today. Just by going live, she looked absolutely gorgeous. And she said that she wants to focus on her personal projects that she's been writing and producing and starring in, and also the lives of her growing sons who are going to be graduating this year. And I had like mixed feelings about it because when Garcelle came onto the show, first of all, I was so excited. Not only is Garcelle Beauvais like, she's Black Hollywood royalty. I mean, she was the it girl in the 90s, starring on the Jamie Foxx show, and just the epitome of beauty and grace. And she was the first Black cast member on Beverly Hills. So I was really excited to have some color show up in the show. But over the past couple of seasons, you either love or hate her friendship with Sutton. And I am not a Sutton stan, so I really don't love to see Garcelle be so close with someone who I find so annoying. So in that way, it's just like, all right, well, your time has come. Plus, with the entrance of someone as like charismatic and big personality as Beau's, who is just like taken over this season, I do see Garcelle kind of fading into the background of being Sutton's bestie. She's really acting like a friend of more than an actual diamond holding housewife. And so when I saw that she had even been on for 5 seasons, I was surprised because it felt like a shorter time than that. I don't feel like I've been watching Garcelle for 5 seasons. But I'm happy for her if this is really what she wants to do. Andy told her that she can come back anytime she wants. And I think that's really great because we love Garcelle. I'm excited to see her in a different light. And I'm really excited to see her projects and like what she has going on. So I wish her the best, but it is going to be sad. If Garcelle leaves, I'd like Sutton to follow her along. That would be great. Another big thing that just happened this weekend was Kim Richards, also from Beverly Hills. The cops got called to her house again. This has been happening. We all know that Kim has been battling alcoholism on and off. She battled it on the show. She went to rehab, and we've really been on this roller coaster ride with her. I think this past season, she made one appearance in one of the shows, and it's always good to see Kim, doing well and being strong. And I feel like she's actually fallen off that wagon a little bit in one way or another. She may not be drinking, but she's definitely had some erratic behavior. And part of that behavior has included being kicked out of her sister and Mo's rental house. So they've been trying to kick her out. Part of this 911 call, she was looking for like her lost cat or her lost dog or whatever animal she has. And the cops came to help her out, and she starts going in about her sister. She's like, well, Kyle, Mauricio, they're kicking me out of the house, like all of that. And it's just like, oh my gosh, it's not a good look for Kim. It's really not a good look for Kyle, after kind of the years that she spent almost exploiting her sister's disease. So we'll see where that lands, but we love Kim. We want her to do well. What else is happening? Okay, so this morning, oh my God, this morning I listened to Drew Sidora Atlanta Housewives. So Drew, as you know, she came back this season. Portia came back this season. And the big opening controversy was that Drew had been making music with Portia's baby daddy, Dennis. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. And she claims, like Drew has claimed up and down, that she has nothing to do with Dennis outside of professionally. But the editors and the producers had a lot more to say on that topic because every time that she said something like that, they would cut to her actually doing the opposite. And Drew's middle name is not Honesty. She has been caught in several fibs over the years. Some of those girlies love to tell a lie, and Drew loves to do that and then be like, I don't even know what you're talking about. So when she said, Dennis doesn't answer the phone, we never talk on the phone. And then the producers cut to Drew on the phone with Dennis multiple times. So when she says Dennis and I are like brother and sister, like there's nothing going on between us, I am going to call a Pinocchio on that. That has got to be a lie. I listened to some of this music, and listen, I was ready to hate on it. We all know housewives who want to be pop stars and how that comes out. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes you're a Kim Zolciak. Okay, iconic, but okay. So when Drew was even talking about that she wanted to be a pop star, she's like, my music, my music. I'm like, since when? Since when, Drew? I thought you were an actor. Um, So I really wasn't taking it seriously. I listened this morning, and what can I say about it? There's a couple of lines I really liked. I was like, okay, this is good. Is Drew Beyonce? No. Is Drew Candy? No. But what she had was, it sounds like something that her and Dennis would come up with. It's very like low key, raspy R&B, 38-year-old, I have a pop star dream, housewives material, like, so she's doing the best that she can there. And I'm waiting with bated breath to see what happens with Drew and Dennis's relationship, because I do not believe that it's what she says it is. And I definitely feel like they have probably crossed a few more lines that would piss Portia off. And they're just trying not to piss Portia off at this point. I think Drew's album, let me find it, what the name of it is. It's worth a listen. It is called, ironically, I Did It to Me. And you can get it on Spotify. I think that's funny. I also think it's funny that Ralph um, is living in the basement. I don't know why. I think it's just like, it's kind of like that same Sandoval Ariana thing. Like, why are we still living together when we're divorcing or breaking up? When I divorced, we did share a house for a couple of months, and it was terrible. It was like the weirdest, most devastating thing. There's always someone living in the basement. There's always someone like going out and then coming back, and it's a different dynamic. That person was me. It's just like, I don't know, get out of sharing the space and somebody will get an apartment or something. I know it's easier said than done, but husbands living in the basement after a divorce is just like, it's such a weird thing. It's such a weird thing. I guess the biggest headlines this weekend in the reality world is what's happening with Teresa Giudice again. Again.
Dun,
Dun, dun, dun. Yes. She and her husband, Louis, who I'm going to send a picture because I have a picture with Louis. I met him at BravoCon. And this is how I know that, like, I have notoriously bad taste. I'm hoping that this has changed now. I'm hoping that I have a better picker than I used to because everyone was talking mad shit about Louis.
Yeah, better nose picker, butt picker.
Man picker.
Man picker?
Peen picker. Better,
Bean picker?
a peen picker. I picked a pretty good peen, but okay, so that's not the point. The point is everybody was like warning Teresa and like in her life, but also like behind the scenes, like in our private Bravo group chats. Everyone's like, Louis weird. He's
Wait. In your private Bravo group chats, which exists 100%, you guys were warning her. Oh yeah.
They were warning me. Okay. They were like, Louis he's a creep. He's a he's a grifter, a swindler. And I'm like, no, he's not. You guys, his family goes to therapy. Like all of his family does therapy. They meditate. I love the way they talk to each other. Yes, I loved it. I was like, I think you guys are wrong. And I think you guys just don't know anybody who's not like you. It's like, I can get very like
Chambers, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys don't know. Like Louis, you'll see. Teresa, as you probably know, she went to prison for tax fraud. I think she did 19 months in prison. And
why don't we speak in like prison terms and child's ages, like baby's ages in months? I did 17 months. I did 18 months. Why isn't it like, oh, look at my beautiful 18-month-old baby. Like, it's a year and a half. Like, why are we talking prison terms, baby ages, and months? I'm just confused.
I missed you when you were upstairs. I don't know because like she didn't do a full year. Well, she did more than a year and a half. That's 19.
Well, it's 19 months again. I'm just saying. Why do we speak in months? Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just funny. Moving on. Anyway, observation.
Yes. So Teresa
Dr.
and
Scientist.
Joe. Teresa
observation.
is Dr. Scientist. She is an OG. She is an original New Jersey housewife. When New Jersey came out, it was all around her and her family and her little girls. So we watched her girls grow up. We watched her have a child from birth to birth. And we watched the decline of her and Joe's relationship, Juicy Joe. We watched Juicy Joe cheat on her. We remember that very first season, Teresa just pulled out like thousands of dollars in bills to pay for some dresses. Like it was nothing. Okay.
New Jersey, baby.
It's New.
What you talking about?
Oh wow, New Jersey.
What you talking about?
I guess I should make it clear that Terrence is from New Jersey. He's of Philadelphia, but he's from New Jersey. He grew up there, so he knows all about this trash cleaner, waste management lifestyle.
Trash, like what? That's trash.
I'm from the Midwest. Anyway, so years ago, Teresa and Joe, they get fined for tax evasion. And Teresa's like, I don't know anything. I don't sign these papers. Joe signs all the papers. I don't do anything with that. And in the end, it doesn't matter. They both went. Joe was extradited. He was never allowed to come back to America. He now lives in the Bahamas. They're divorced, but they get along. And that's the other thing. Him, Joe, Louis, Teresa, Joe, Louis, they all get along. They vacation together.
Him, Joe, Louis.
Yeah, I know. We see Louis and Joe like talk. They call each other brother. Like, I love that. I'm rooting for them. But they are facing $3 million in back taxes. And it's kind of all adding up. Why Teresa's brother Joe, she's estranged from, they have a very terrible relationship, unfortunately. Why he's called Louis out on so many things, and all of that smoke is starting to turn into fire. It seems. I don't know what tax evasion is.
Smoke, there's fire.
And I really don't know how you get into $3 million of it. I don't know. If I had $3 million, maybe I would pay my bills.
They had $3 million because they evaded taxes.
Well, so that I do understand, actually. I do understand reprioritizing your funds.
Madness.
To go to what you want it to go to instead of what you need to pay for.
What was that? You said that real quick.
I would like to move on now, but it's huge news, and it's also big because Teresa did not sign a prenup, and you've already been through this once.
Yeah, but does she have the money, or does Loose Louie have it?
Don't call him that. Loose Louis, I don't think anybody does. There's also
Yeah, clearly none of them have.
I don't think any of them have the money. And
Then that's why you don't need a prenup. What are you
well,
talking
it's
about?
also because it's also been like when Teresa came back from prison, she got herself back on the show. She has sold
She
cookbooks.
pulled herself up by her bootstraps and got herself back on reality TV.
Well,
Because she wouldn't be hope.
She pulled herself up by her yoga straps.
Yoga.
If you know, you know. Namaste. So that's such a niche thing that I just said. It's really good.
Namaste?
No, for the people who get it, they get
Okay.
it. She pulled herself up by her yoga straps. Anyway. Your phone is ringing. It's distracting me. She pulled herself up. There are rumors. And like I said, I was a fan of Louis, so I never fell for this. But there were rumors that Louis kind of targeted her.
Oh.
She's in the public eye. He knows where she lives.
That's some crazy stuff.
That he would target her, and then kind of like
Yeah. Sure.
a sugar mama
Mm.
situation. So I don't know. The girls were messing with me in the group chat today because they're like, "See, Beau," and I was like, "Well, we'll see what the courts have to say. He's being framed." The end.
Yeah, there you go.
The end.
The end. Did you talk any Survivor?
No, Survivor. I only went through all of my Bravo points.
Oh.
Yes.
Did you watch the latest Survivor?
I need to catch up. I haven't watched
Oh.
in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, I have more Survivor to watch.
It's only one episode, I think, is what you're missing now.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, Thomas got voted off. The LA, one of the California girls, music industry guy.
Is this a spoiler?
No, this was last week.
This is considered a spoiler.
No, nope. Oh, no. What is a spoiler? If it's a weekly thing, I would say it airs Wednesday. We're talking about it Tuesday of the following, like right before the next one. No,
I would call it a spoiler, and especially
anyway. So he asked his California group to vote for Camille.
I'm unbelievably
and they said no. We got to go for Kyle. They didn't know Kyle had that immunity title.
I'm unbelievably angry right now.
So, but then Kyle and Camille, they played a fun group that they weren't friends. They weren't friends. They were like, oh, look at me acting. We're not friends. But they were. And then they voted Thomas. So then, even though Thomas had an extra vote, or a vote steal, and he wanted to go for Camille, and he should have just stolen a vote and did his own thing.
Oh my God, awesome.
And then he went home, and it was stunned. They all just stared, and he got up, and they all just were looking at him. He's like, hug me.
I can't wait to watch now. Thank you.
You should.
Thank you for telling me everything that happened.
Well, I'm sure this will cause a lot of moments.
I'm physically shaking right now.
Okay, anyway, moving on.
That's physically shaking right
good?
now.
Sports.
Meh.
March Madness. That's what we wanted to talk about. That's what we wanted to open it up with. A crazy weekend that did not include any madness.
This mic is hot.
So that way too loud?
Just don't get too loud because the mic's hot.
Got you. I don't know what you mean by that.
It means it picks up really like hot. It's on, but it's like
a hot mic usually means it's on. So obviously
pointy.
it's on.
You can listen and learn.
Okay.
Or you can turn and burn.
Turn and burn, baby. So I should talk softer.
Just don't.
Is that what you're saying?
Just don't
What are you saying?
scream.
Was I screaming?
Oh.
Oh,
here we are again. Here we are again.
Yeah. Is this good? Is this okay?
Oh my God.
Should I talk louder?
Go back to March Madness.
March Madness.
I'm mad in March.
Yeah, I'm mad too. Was a little upsetting. It's a lot of chalk. Not a lot of upsets.
What does chalk mean?
Chalk's what those kids, the kids say. Let me see. Why do they call it? I haven't the foggiest. But chalk means that everything goes to plan.
I don't know why you needed to take my glasses off of my face and mock me.
Oh no, it wasn't you. I was taking my inner pup up. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't the foggiest.
Okay.
I don't know why they say chalk, but chalk means everything goes according to plan. No upsets.
Got it. Oh, okay, okay.
And that's what March is all about.
I haven't heard a lot about March Madness. Like I
No.
feel like I would normally like just hear more about it, but I don't hear anything.
No, all my upsets failed. St. Mary's,
Mm,
Creighton. Who else? I don't know.
yeah.
Colorado State.
Well, who did well? Gonzaga.
No, they lost two. Duke looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
Houston looks all ones and twos. Oh, except for St. John's. St. John's did lose, and this is why I don't like college basketball. This is why I only like it for the tournament and for madness, because you're watching kids play.
Yeah, I think it's so weird.
Literally, I watched the last 5 minutes, and I think I didn't see St. John's make a basket, like a single shot, and it was disgusting. It was also funny to see Calipari and Pitino, two old coaches, going at it. Pitino's a vampire, and
He's a Nosferatu.
he's a Nosferatu for sure. And Calipari's doing his best coaching ever,
So
coaching
smash or
Arkansas.
pass, smash or pass.
Yeah, we're gonna pass. Deathly. Nosferatu ain't walking through that door. And if you know, you know.
Ew, I don't know.
That's a Pitino thing. That's
Okay.
Anyway, you can have your little yoga
That's
strap joke,
niche.
and I can throw it in.
It's niche.
Anyway, anything else happened in the men's side? I'm really just avoiding talking about the women's tournament because I'm really upset.
I know you are. I know you are. Just spit it out. And like every single week, this player comes up. She is my biggest competition in the world.
Okay, ew. She's a child.
Oh, is she?
Yes, she's a sophomore in college. Jesus.
I didn't know.
Juju Watkins tore her ACL driving up the court and like writhing in pain afterwards. It was painful to see.
Like a career-changing injury?
No, I mean, back in the day, no, it's not an Achilles, and she's young. But I mean, like that's a 9-month recovery. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And you just lost it at the end of March, so you're not going to be fully ready. It's just like I feel for her
Yeah.
because
Oh my gosh.
yeah, number one
terrible.
seed. They still dominated the Mississippi State Bulldogs, but it's going to be hard to take on UConn and South Carolina and Notre Dame, and so with all those other players. So it was upsetting. Best of luck. Hope you a speedy recovery, Juju.
Aw. I think something that would be really interesting, people have questioned like the connection. What is the connection point between reality TV and sports? Like what's the underpin of why we see that connection for VanderSports and in our relationship?
Unhinged behavior to things that don't affect us.
Yes.
I mean, I will not watch an Eagles game, an important Eagles game, in public. I just won't do it. I will not do it. I heard a story. Oh man, what podcast I was listening to? It was like God Bless Football or something. And this guy's talking about 2 years ago, I threw this Eagle party. No, it was a PHLY. That's what All City PHLYs. He's like, I threw this party, blah, blah, blah. And it was right. Everything, something go bad. Everyone would turn around and look at me expecting Philly anger and all that stuff. It's just miserable. You don't want to do it. So he did not throw a party. He watched it with his kids and his wife and literally said, all right, win or lose, come to this bar. There'll be an open tab. Like that's when which turned out to be a bad idea for him financially. But
I bet.
I'm like, oh no, I get this. Like I 100% understand this feeling. And I think every unhinged sports fan gets it.
Yeah.
Like NFL Fan Therapy is a Instagram account that is hilarious. It's so funny. Commander Courtney, I don't know if that's your name, but that's why I name you and you're hilarious. The Eagles guy is so good. Francis from the Patriot fan, phenomenal.
Yeah.
And that's why you find a community. Because there's certain people that become a brand. like reality TV. There's podcasts. Dan Lebitard, McAfee. Their followers are they find a community. You find a community,
Mm-hmm.
and you can slip into it, and it's just. I think that's what you got. You find a community. Oh my God, we watched the show. It's not a guilty pleasure. It's just a pleasure.
Yeah.
And then you're screaming and you're spending over $100 to see this ashtray voice cabaret singer not sing. Like I can literally say, I'm like, how?
Okay.
But
you leave Luann out of it.
but like that's, yeah,
I think,
it's nostalgia. I mean, I don't know, maybe.
well, I think so too. And I do feel like when I ask people, it's my new small talk, not my new small talk, but it's like how you and a guy can meet and maybe not have anything in common, but if you guys both watch sports, you can just kind of go right there. When I ask people like, what do you watch? That's always my way in because you always are going to immediately have opinions, maybe some emotional connection and some history, some shared history the second we start talking about a Bravo show or a reality TV show. But specifically with Housewives,
I think so.
because you do get so entrenched in their lives and you have watched their kids grow up and you do have all of this history and it is like an immediate shortcut. So I always love when I'm like, do you watch Housewives? And someone says yes. And then I'm like, okay, who's your bitch and who do you hate?
There you go. Yeah.
Right now we have a level playing field. Like we may not have anything else in common, but that's a really great starting point.
I think 100%. One of my dear friends, Alan, met him in Austin. First time walking up, meeting him at work. Like we met at work. And he goes, oh, you're from Philly? Fuck you. And walks away. And it's only because he's a Ranger fan, and,
Okay.
a New York Ranger fan. So I was like, I don't even like the Flyers, but fuck you. I like you too. So and when I'm meeting people, we're going out with a lot of your friends and I'm meeting their husbands or partners and you're asking, what do you watch? What have you seen lately? What are you reading? Or like, oh, do you watch football? You find sports, and they're easy connecting points.
Yeah. I also feel like, and this is really like the genesis of the show, is I spent years doing my own thing, watching Housewives upstairs with a partner watching sports downstairs, and no really through line. This is my world, that is your world. Let's keep them separated.
Keep them separated. Hey, man, you disrespecting me?
And
Don't
as
you know?
a divorced duo,
separated.
We don't want to keep our lives so separate anymore. So this is a way that we can bring our worlds together. I may not understand what the fuck you're talking about. You don't understand why I would go spend over $100 to see the ashtray voiced.
I know.
But she's my ashtray voiced superstar.
Yeah.
Yes.
But so like when I say, did you fill out a bracket? And you're like, what's a bracket? I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I'm going to get learned.
Right? I want to be like, oh my God, this is fun. And then I'm like, well, what can we do? We're going to the Sweet 16. Like, isn't this a fun thing? Like, how about you make a bracket of housewives? Like, you have, what do you have? Like, the number, right? You have 4 regions of 1 through 16.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's 64. Maybe you don't have 64 housewives.
We have 64 housewives. We've got 20 years of 10 seasons with a lot of rotation. I have 64 housewives.
Then we have this thing called Blue Bloods. The Blue Bloods.
Yes, and I said the Blue Bloods are the OGs.
Yes, so Blue Bloods, right? Duke. Why are they all blue, by the way? UNC, Kentucky, right?
Oh,
Blue Bloods, get it?
They're clever. It's all coming together.
So, the OG. So who are some number 1 seeds, the classics, the favorites to win?
It would be a Vicky, a Teresa, a Nene, and a Vanderpump.
Ooh, okay. There we go.
Like off the top of my head, like, do you see? That's the other thing that is the sports connection. It's like you have history of plays. I have history of moments.
Right, exactly. So you know why, right? And you would put up, and like we make highlight reels of like, this is them, right? And so then they would go up against a 16 seed. So these are teams that are Cinderellas. Now, so, getting ahead of myself. 16 seed. No, a 16 has never beaten a 1 in the tournament.
Mm-mm.
I think that's still true. If it has, it maybe happened a year or two ago, and I'm like, I just don't pay attention that closely anymore.
Yeah.
But so these are like teams that win conferences, and you get an automatic bid. Now the 15s beat 2 seeds, so right, like you have some favorites, but maybe these favorites are just like niche favorites or whatever.
Yes.
So then you
Okay.
get to the 3 and the 4, right? And so now there's 4 seeds. There's 4 wives for every seed, right? If you're
Yes.
thinking of
I
it.
love this.
Now, you get to the 12, right? You get to the 12 seed. A 12 seed goes up against a 5. A 12 always beats a 5.
Wow.
Every year there's been a 12 that beats a 5.
That is so interesting. Well, I want to do a housewife
that'd be a
bracket
fun-
that we can put all of them kind of against
So
each
like,
other.
who would be your Cinderella, right? The ones that go far into the tournament that maybe don't win, but
Yeah.
don't belong. Like George Mason one year. Villanova was an 8 seed. That's the highest seed to ever win the tournament.
I would put someone like a Megan King there. Megan is someone who was never anyone's favorite. She came in. She is actually
So she had like a string of shows that she was like the star of like 5 shows in a row.
no, but what she did do was take down Vicky's boyfriend who was faking cancer. And that was that's a star moment.
Man, that's hitting. Yeah, that's a buzzer beater right there.
So she used to be married to Jim Edmonds.
Oh, a baseball player.
Yeah, so she lives
Angel.
in St. Louis right now. Yes, and so because they have 3
Is he
kids
an
together.
angel and a cardinal? I think so.
Well, he's an asshole and a dick,
Yeah, I mean,
in my opinion.
absolutely.
Jim Edmonds, who's on his 5th wife now, but
Oh, Jesus.
that's fine. That's fine.
What
What
husband am I?
my final. That's you're such an ass. Don't go into
Eat donuts.
I do things for the plot. Okay, so anyway, Megan would be someone who I would consider a Cinderella. She's no one's favorite. She's highly annoying, but then she does that. It's a star-making move, and that puts her up higher.
Got it. There you go. So
Yeah,
she can go on a run.
she could.
Nice.
She
But yeah,
could. She'll be stopped. She won't make it to the end, but
yeah.
For
I mean, talent wins out
talent. Well, then
in
shit.
the tournament.
What would win out? Drama would win out.
Drama. Yeah. I feel
Who
like
has the most iconic moments? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love that. So we're going to work on brackets. I'm going to do a little housewife bracket to
Mhm.
find the number 1 all time.
Maybe we can hold off on that one. But yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we can do it for fun. I can at least learn what a bracket is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brackets.
We'll start there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You got anything else this week?
Oh my God. I got a couple of things. Fun, quick little things. Puma put out a commercial, Puma Running, and it's who is the rapper? 'Cause I Got High.
Oh my God.
And so it's playing off the running
Afro Man.
Afterman. So it's playing off of a runner's high, but it's like I was gonna do something, but I got high, and like there's things like I was gonna lay in bed, but I got high. I was like, I did not have a Puma running commercial, getting high on my bingo card, but that was really funny. You should look at that. Also, in baseball, the Double-A of the Baltimore Orioles. So baseball's got a weird minor league system. Not weird, just has a minor league system, multi-levels, Double-A. They play in Chesapeake, and they're called the Chesapeake Bay Sox. Now, minor league teams tend to have some alternate identities sometime, and they are called the Oyster Catchers for 2 weeks randomly of the year. And they put out their logo of a baseball mitt and an oyster half shell.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're a lucky oyster catcher, what do you find in the oyster shell?
A pearl.
A pearl. And then there's a baseball at the top. And it reminds me of Georgia O'Keeffe a little bit. Now,
So you're saying it's very
anatomically correct.
vaginal. It's anatomically vaginal.
Yes, and I don't know how an organization can just throw these stuff. We saw this Major League. They're doing the Spanish things of the Texas Rangers, and they're like the Spanish word for titties, the Texas tetas.
Wow.
Like, what are we doing here, people? Like, this is going around. So at first I thought, and I heard this quickly, that they were, hey, all the sales to this will go to a women's, like, I Survived campaign, realizing that they made a silly little spoof. But now I was just looking at that this morning to like reconfirm, like, oh, what's the charity? And they switched it. They switched it to an oyster catcher bird on top of a bat.
Okay, so
An oyster catcher bird that just has the same colors as the Baltimore Orioles. I saw
yeah,
what
it's
you did
weird.
there.
It's weird. I think it's weird.
But there's a lot of cries calling to bring it back. So I hope they do get that back.
I have questions. My number one question: when they made the original, I don't know what pussy catcher thing, oyster catcher,
Pearl
wait,
catcher.
yes,
I'm gonna clutch my pearls.
it's a clam catcher.
Mhm.
Kind of incorporates all. Did they know that they were raising money for this women's
No,
organization?
That was a follow up.
So the original design was not intentional to be.
Was not seen.
I see. I actually think that this tracks because if that was a male designer, he probably doesn't know what a clitoris looks like. So it makes sense.
Can you find the baseball?
Yeah. And his wife was like, it's not there.
Mhm.
It's a little higher. So I'm not surprised.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Basel's ending.
Bye. It never started for me, babe.
I know, me either. I was a Sixers fan. Never started.
Oh, no. I heard you complain a lot about that.
Lose the next 3 games because it's going to be terrible. In pure Philly fashion, they could lose their draft pick to the best team in the league. They could lose it to the Thunder. So then we don't have our first round draft pick. We get nothing, and we're Philadelphia.
So this week,
Stinkadelphia.
if you have a Sixers fan in your life, tread lightly.
Yeah, and just tell them to keep. Oh, I hope we play the Miami Heat, who's the last team in the play-in. We play the Wizards, which is the worst team in the league, and we play somebody else I don't remember. We need to lose all 3. Oh, the Raptors, which is 2 teams above us that are trying to lose too.
And they're Canadian. So is it going to...
Canada's been kicking our butt lately.
Canada has been kicking our butt lately in so many ways.
Canada is the new North American country when they take us over. Canada.
Well, do they lose 25% of their players when they cross the border?
I don't know, but they beat us in soccer in the 3rd place game in men's national.
Well, the fart sound.
Yeah.
The whoopee cushions.
Yeah. It's a stinky day today, guys.
Well, I'm glad you joined me.
Yeah, me too. Sorry.
Yeah.
Miss you guys.
Missed you, baby. That's all.
All right. Mm-hmm.
We're good.
Mm-hmm.